Hi, so today is day 9 of the 10 days challenge, and for today, what I'm going to be talking about is 10 reasons why I have a Tumblr. So some of these might kind of cross over with things I've discussed before about using Tumblr, but anyway, these are just 10 reasons why I have my Tumblr. Let's start with number 1. So the number 1 reason why I made the Tumblr blog to begin with was because of fandom. It was just easier to reblog things and to follow people because a few years ago, I've been exclusively using LiveJournal, but then people started switching on to Tumblr. I guess it was just easy for them to post, so then I ended up switching to Tumblr too so I could follow what they were doing. Yeah, so fandom would be the number 1 reason why I started the Tumblr blog. Let's see. Number 2, I started Tumblr in order to meet people. At the time, I was studying in China, and it's very difficult to meet people who had my interests in China because most of the expat community that I'd met out there, they didn't. So I tried using Tumblr, and I was kind of hoping that I could meet other people who were also interested in the same things as I was. It never really actually happened, but Tumblr was one of the few websites that were actually not blocked, where people could just kind of get together and just post whatever, that in China. Actually, I think that in the beginning, when I first started my Tumblr, I think there are parts of Tumblr I had a very difficult time using because I think that the Chinese government was trying to find a way to censor it, so sometimes some things would load and some things wouldn't, but anyway, that was another reason. I've actually eventually ended up meeting people on Tumblr in real life, but it's just because most of the people on Tumblr are in North America, and I'm very rarely in North America, that it's very, very difficult to actually meet those people. Although meeting people online is very easy on Tumblr. Like, I can meet people of common interests online. I just mean, like, in real life it's difficult. Alright, number 3. Number 3 is a personal post. I have a page where I can post some of my thoughts and rants. Sometimes it's kind of difficult, especially on Facebook, because then I recently started having coworkers follow me on Facebook. Usually I try to avoid that. But yeah, some of my coworkers do, and sometimes there's just things that like really piss me off about maybe my workplace or other things, like I need a place to vent. So I find that Tumblr is like a safe place where I could do that because not many people know that I have a Tumblr. So yeah, I can post my personal things on there. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, I have writing. So things that I write, I can always post them on Tumblr. And yeah, just it's like if I want to do poetry, I don't really do poetry, but if I did, I could post it on Tumblr. Usually it's just fan fiction and other things like that I post on there. Alright, 5th reason why I have a Tumblr is because it's free. Things that are free are not always the best things, but they are great sometimes. Well, I like that Tumblr is free. I like that there's not this obnoxious advertising, so I can just go there, I can just post everything. I don't have to worry about closing all these windows and having all these ads and stuff pop up every 2 seconds, so that's what I like about Tumblr. Alright, let's go to number 6. Number 6. The reason why I have a Tumblr is because I can learn things that I didn't know before. So, a lot of people, they'll post about different issues or things that are not being covered by the media, or I may just learn more about different lifestyles or more about sexuality, cultural appropriation, just things that I hadn't really been aware of before, like in maybe media that I consume. Yeah, so anyway, there's a lot of information on Tumblr. Not all of it's accurate, but at least it can open doors for me to learn a bit about something that I hadn't known anything about before. So that's another reason why I had the Tumblr. Let's go to number 7. Number 7 is I can do streaming on Tumblr sometimes, and I can also find ebooks on Tumblr. Mostly though, I've been using it for the streaming because when there were they had Winter Olympics in February in Sochi, and the thing is that because I only have access to the Korean broadcasting, then when I was trying to watch events that are going on in the Olympics, and keep in mind, I'm Canadian, so I have to watch my hockey, right? So, unfortunately, Korea was not covering anything that didn't have Koreans involved in it, and the Koreans are not heavily involved in Winter Olympics. They've got things like they have Kim Yuna, who's like she's their big figure skater. Then they have some speed skating, and maybe a few other events that they cover, but they only cover really, really few things. So in order for me to watch all the events where Koreans weren't heavily participating, like in any figure skating event that wasn't the women's, I had to actually go onto Tumblr and I had to find streams so that I could be able to watch like Canadians and other people compete in these events. So I found that Tumblr at the time was really useful. I was so glad to have the Tumblr because then I didn't have to worry about, getting I'd have to register, like pay for something like TiVo. I'm not even quite sure what TiVo is, but people use it. And see, I'm just so like inept when it comes to these things. I mean, I'm sure I could learn about it, but anyway, at the time, Tumblr was useful. It allowed me to see my Canadian hockey, so I was pretty happy. And figure skating. I love figure skating. All right, let's go to number 8 on my list. So number 8 is I like having the Tumblr because I can always search for tips and on other people's blogs, especially because I've recently gone vegan. So there are some people who will post about veganism in Korea, which is awesome because it's really useful for me. Also, last night I was skimming through this one post and it has all these tips for writing. So because I write fan fiction, it was useful to be able to read that and then just like kind of consider about maybe the word choices I'm using or some of the problems that I keep coming across when I'm doing my own editing. So yeah, I find that Tumblr is very useful for that. There's always people willing to post tips or to help you with something. Okay, let's go to number 9. So number 9, the reason why I have Tumblr is because I love to reblog random shit. Like just anything there's just so much random on my dashboard that it's amusing. Like I could just be bored out of my mind at work, just quickly pop on Tumblr on my smartphone, though I try not to do it that much because, yeah, I'm at work. But still, it's nice to have random stuff that's, like, something that makes me laugh, something that's really amusing. And yeah, it's stuff that I wouldn't really even think to look up, and it just shows up on my blog, and I love it. So yeah, I like it for the random. All right, and number 10, the last reason why I have a Tumblr is because I just need a place to unwind. I'm always working, I'm always doing stuff. Right now I'm supposed to be doing student reports, but I'm like quickly putting this video together, and then I have to get to work, and then, oh my god, there's always so much, so I need something to unwind, otherwise I'd probably go crazy and just be really, really tired and grumpy and exhausted all the time. So, yeah, I find that Tumblr is a very quick and, just a quick way to, like, unwind. I just pop on. I follow enough people that I actually rarely spend my time in tags on Tumblr. I just usually try to follow blogs that look really funny or that have just content that I really like. And then I can just go onto my dashboard and just reblog whatever looks interesting. In fact, I barely even know, like, what is on Tumblr outside of what is on my dashboard because I just don't spend time in tags, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 that are fandom related. Yeah, so anyway, those are 10 reasons why I have a Tumblr. Thanks for watching this video. One more day left. Bye!